The summer of 2026 will be remembered as the season Europe caught fire without a single flame. In late June, a wall of scorching, bone-dry air swept up from the Sahara Desert and simply refused to leave. Day after day, the sun climbed into a cloudless sky and hammered the land below. Then the records began to fall. France recorded the hottest day in its entire history of measuring weather. A blistering 44.3 in the southwestern town of Pissos. The United Kingdom shattered its record for the hottest June day ever across Spain, Germany, and Italy. Thermometers soared far past anything considered normal. In some places nearly 18 degrees above, where they should have been schools shut their doors. Power supplies strained, and tragically, dozens of people lost their lives to the heat. But here is the strange part. There was no storm, no volcano, no obvious villain. The culprit was a shape in the sky, high above your head, higher than birds fly, higher than most airplanes cruise. There is an invisible river of wind called the jet stream. It races from west to east, roughly 9 to 11 kilometers up, faster than a car speeding down a motorway. It blows because freezing polar air and warm tropical air are forever colliding, and where they meet, the wind howls. The jet stream almost never travels in a straight line. It bends into giant curves called Rossby waves, named after the scientist Carl Gustav Rossby, who first explained them. These waves form because the Earth spins. Usually they keep moving, dragging our weather along with them, which is why a rainy day is normally followed by a sunny one. But every so often, the waves grow gigantic. The jet stream buckles and loops back on itself, like a tangled garden hose. A huge dome of warm, high-pressure air gets trapped in the middle, with 2 pockets of cool, low-pressure air sitting on either side. Drawn on a weather map, this pattern looks almost exactly like the Greek letter omega. Oh, and that is its name. The Omega Block. Why block? Because it behaves like a boulder dropped into a flowing river. The weather that should sail past gets stuck behind it. Meteorologists even call it an atmospheric traffic jam. Once it parks over a region, it is stubborn. Most last 3 to 10 days, but some linger for weeks. This is where the heat is born. Beneath that dome of high pressure, the air slowly sinks. As air sinks, it gets squeezed and warms up. And it also stops clouds from forming. So the sky stays clear and blue. The sun pours down unblocked. And each day the ground stores more heat than it can release overnight. The temperature climbs higher and higher and higher. Meanwhile, the 2 legs of the Omega do the exact opposite. There the air rises, clouds gather, and the weather turns cool and rainy. So a single shape in the sky can roast one country while soaking another at the very same moment. So does climate change. cause all this? The honest answer is no. And yes, omega blocks are completely natural and have formed for as long as the Earth has had an atmosphere. A famous one baked Russia in 2010 and Britain in 1976. But because humans have burned coal, oil, and gas, the planet's starting temperature is now warmer than before. So when a natural block traps hot air today, that air was already hotter to begin with, and the result is fiercer. Scientists from the World Weather Attribution Group studied this very heat wave and found it would have been virtually impossible without human paused warming. And that the same event 50 years ago would have been about 3.5 degrees cooler. Climate change did not create the omega block. It loaded the dice, making the heat the block delivers far more dangerous. So the next time someone grumbles about a long sticky heat wave that simply will not break, look up at that clear blue sky and reveal its secret. The giant invisible river of wind bent into the shape of an ancient Greek letter, holding an entire continent hostage. The omega block, a small symbol with enormous power.